A vast, empty road stretches out under a sky full of stars. The winter air is cold, and fresh snow covers everything, muffling any sound. A vintage sedan drives along slowly, its tires crunching on the icy surface. The scene is calm, almost peaceful, yet there is an unspoken tension in the air. The night is quiet, and the only witness to this journey is the silent landscape. Inside the car, a young couple sits side by side. Their faces show a mix of worry and determination as the car begins to make unusual sounds. The engine sputters and shakes, creating an unsettling atmosphere. The couple exchanges glances, each silently acknowledging that something is not right. They decide to pull over to check the car. As they approach the roadside, the headlights reveal vague, shifting shapes among the dark, looming trees, adding an element of mystery. The sedan comes to a stop at a small, deserted clearing by the side of the road. The snow falls steadily, softening the edges of the world and deepening the quiet of the night. The couple steps out into the chill, bundled up in heavy coats. They stand together for a moment, peering into the darkness, trying to understand the strange sounds and subtle movements in the woods. An inexplicable feeling of being watched fills the air. Without speaking, they know that tonight is not as simple as they had imagined. After a brief inspection of the car, the couple finds a few items left behind. A half-full cup of coffee still, warm from their earlier drive, a few scattered belongings, and a set of footprints that start near the car but then vanish into the deep, white expanse of the snow. The footprints are small and irregular, as if whoever made them had hurriedly left the scene in a state of panic. The couple glances at each other, uncertainty growing in their eyes. They decide to stay a while longer, hoping that a break in the strange silence might bring an explanation or a signal of help. Dawn creeps over the horizon, slowly transforming the dark, eerie night into a cold, misty morning. The couple remains by the car, watching as the night's mysteries begin to dissolve in the pale light. Soon, the sound of approaching footsteps interrupts the silence. A local police officer, responding to a call from another nearby traveler, arrives on the scene. He carefully examines the area, noting every small detail, the scattered belongings, the unresolved path of footprints, and a small wooden charm lying on the snow. This charm is simply carved, yet it seems out of place in such a modern, ordinary setting. Inside a modest, dim office at the local police station, a dedicated detective sits surrounded by old case files and faded newspaper clippings. The detective is methodical and calm, examining every piece of evidence with a practiced eye. On the wall, a large map is dotted with pins marking similar events from years past. He studies the charm, the footprints, and photographs taken at the scene. Each detail, no matter how small, adds to the growing number of unanswered questions. The detective begins to piece together a timeline, searching for a connection between this incident and other local stories of strange happenings along the remote road. Later that day, a series of interviews is held with local residents. In a small community center with plain walls and simple furniture, people of all ages share their memories of the area. One elderly man recounts how, for generations, there have been sightings of strange lights and soft voices near the road. A young shopkeeper describes whispers he sometimes hears at night, sounds that make him feel as though secrets are being kept in the wind. The simple accounts, told in everyday language, add layers to the mystery. Each voice hints at an event, long remembered, intertwining folklore with the stark reality of the present case. Days later, the detective returns to the area, revisiting the clearing with fresh eyes. The snow, partly melted now, reveals additional tracks and signs of disturbance near a clump of trees. The detective carefully searches the ground and finds a second, smaller charm hidden under a fallen branch. This charm, similar to the first, but with different markings deepens the mystery. Its origins seem ancient, as if it were a relic from a time when local myths and legends were considered as real as the day-to-day struggles of life. Back in his small, cluttered office, the detective lays out all the clues. Photographs of the footprints, sketches of both charms, testimonies from the townspeople, and reports from other similar incidents in the area. He writes down theories on a notepad, sometimes pausing to stare out the window into the falling snow, as if searching for a sign. The evidence seems to hint at a deeper hidden story, one that might involve both human misdeed and strange, inexplicable events. The detective is left wondering if the footprints belong to someone running from danger, or perhaps to a being that does not follow the rules of everyday life. As evening falls once again on the lonely clearing, the detective stands alone in the twilight. The day's work has produced more questions than answers. The mystery of the missing couple, the strange footprints, and the two mysterious wooden charms grows ever more complex. The detective contemplates the possibility of a connection to old local legends, stories of guardians or spirits meant to protect hidden secrets. The silence of the forest holds its own secrets, and it seems as if the wind might carry whispers from another time. Time passes, yet the memory of that cold winter night lingers in the community. The incident becomes a topic of quiet conversation in every home and local gathering. Over the years, new theories arise, some suggesting that a desperate act of human betrayal led to the disappearance, while others lean toward a supernatural explanation. The area near the clearing is avoided by many, left to nature and the mystery that it holds. The detective's report remains open, a puzzle that continues to invite fresh perspectives and theories, keeping the legacy of the unsolved case alive. The story of that fateful night on the snowy road is not closed. It lives on in the quiet recollections of the community, in the detailed notes of the detective, and in the murmur of local legends. The unanswered questions about the missing couple, the strange footprints, and the mysterious wooden charms invite anyone who stumbles upon the story to ponder and explore further. The mystery remains unsolved, leaving the door open for future investigators, curious minds, and those who believe that sometimes reality hides behind layers of unexplained events. Months later, a newcomer arrives in the town, a young journalist named Clara, drawn by the whispers of the unsolved mystery. With a notebook in hand and a determination to uncover the truth, she begins her investigation. Clara interviews the townspeople, gathering their stories and piecing together the fragments of the past. She feels the weight of the unresolved case, as if the very air around her is charged with the energy of the unknown. Each conversation reveals a different perspective, a new theory, and Clara finds herself captivated by the legends that swirl around the clearing. One evening, while exploring the outskirts of the forest, Clara stumbles upon an old, weathered sign partially buried in the snow. It reads, "Beware the guardians of the forest." Intrigued, she takes a photograph and returns to her office, where she meticulously researches local folklore. The sign seems to connect to the stories of spirits that protect the land, and Clara begins to wonder if the missing couple had encountered something beyond their understanding. The more she digs, the more she feels a connection to the detective's original theories. Clara reaches out to the detective, now older and more contemplative, inviting him to share his insights. They meet in his cluttered office, surrounded by the remnants of his past investigations. As they discuss the case, Clara presents her findings, and the detective is impressed by her passion and fresh perspective. Together, they brainstorm new avenues to explore, combining their knowledge and intuition. The detective feels a renewed sense of purpose, as if the mystery has been reignited by Clara's enthusiasm. With the detective by her side, Clara decides to venture into the clearing where the couple disappeared. Armed with flashlights and a sense of determination, they navigate the snow-covered terrain. As they reach the heart of the forest, an eerie stillness envelops them. The air feels thick with anticipation, and Clara can't shake the feeling that they are being watched. Suddenly, they discover a hidden grove where the trees seem to form a natural circle. In the center lies a small, intricately carved wooden charm, identical to the ones found earlier. Clara's heart races. Could this be a clue left behind by the couple, or a message from the guardians themselves? As they examine the charm, Clara and the detective notice strange markings etched into the wood. They realize that the symbols correspond to the local legends of the guardians, suggesting a deeper connection to the couple's fate. The detective recalls a story he had heard long ago about a ritual meant to appease the spirits of the forest, and Clara wonders if the couple had unknowingly stumbled into a sacred space. The pieces of the puzzle begin to align, and they feel a sense of urgency to uncover the truth before the mystery fades into obscurity. Determined to solve the case, Clara and the detective organize a community gathering, inviting locals to share their experiences and knowledge. As stories are exchanged, a sense of unity forms among the townspeople, and they begin to confront their fears surrounding the clearing. Clara presents her findings, and the detective shares his insights, urging the community to embrace their history rather than shy away from it. Together, they decide to honor the memory of the missing couple by holding a ceremony in the clearing, hoping to bring closure to the mystery and perhaps even appease the guardians of the forest. On the night of the ceremony, the clearing is illuminated by flickering candles and the soft glow of lanterns. The townspeople gather, sharing stories of love, loss, and the importance of remembering those who have vanished. As Clara and the detective lead the ceremony, they feel a palpable shift in the atmosphere. The wind whispers through the trees, and for a moment it seems as if the forest itself is listening. The community comes together, united in their quest for understanding, and as they release their lanterns into the night sky, they feel a sense of hope that the mystery may finally find its resolution. In the aftermath of the ceremony, the detective and Clara reflect on the journey they've taken together. The mystery of the missing couple remains unsolved, but the community has found strength in their shared history. The detective's report is updated, now filled with new insights and perspectives, and Clara's articles begin to circulate, reigniting interest in the case. The legacy of that fateful night lives on, not just as a haunting tale, but as a reminder of the bonds that connect people to their past and to each other. The forest, once a place of fear, now stands as a symbol of resilience and the enduring quest for truth.